Her message arrived at 6:14 a.m. One line, no greeting, no context. We need to discuss your Monday stunt. Board at 9. My wife's sister, the new CEO, and the word stunt clung to the screen like the aftertaste of poison. I stared at the message from my kitchen counter, fingers still cold from the stainless steel fridge handle. The house was quiet, too quiet. My wife hadn't come home last night. Strategy session, she'd said, voice too even, eyes too controlled. Another lie wearing a business suit. I took a slow breath and let the silence stretch until it felt like a bruise forming behind my ribs. I already knew what waited on the 34th floor. Accusations, numbers twisted into weapons. That look she carried, the same one she used as a teenager when she broke things just to see how people reacted. But this was different. This was calculated, targeted. She wanted me humiliated, and she wanted an audience. I closed the fridge door, wiped my palms on my shirt, and watched my own reflection in the dark glass. Calm, empty, controlled. The kind of calm a person feels right before the blade drops. I picked up my keys, walked out, and felt something cold settling in my chest. Not fear, not anger, something quieter, more deliberate, something that had already begun long before she imagined. The boardroom lights were too bright, surgical, designed to expose weakness. 19 executives watched as she clicked the first slide. My salary, $350,000, displayed in red. 55% above market for his title, she announced, pretending the words tasted professional, not personal. Inherited from the previous CEO. We are correcting inefficiencies. It wasn't just a public shaming. It was a message to the room, to my wife, to me. I glanced at my wife across the table. She avoided my eyes. Carefully, intentionally. Her fingers twisted her wedding ring, a habit she'd acquired only recently. The numbers on the screen didn't bother me. Her silence did. Her sister's smirk did. Their exchange of looks, small, almost imperceptible, did. Something unspoken passed between them, and my stomach tightened. I'd felt it for weeks. A shift in tone, a change in schedules, conversations ending the moment I entered a room. I wasn't shocked, not truly, just waiting for confirmation. My wife's sister kept talking, slicing through my reputation with clinical precision. We don't need overpaid legacy hires. We need performance, accountability. The last word lingered, accountability. Her eyes locked on mine, searching for a reaction she'd never get. I gave none, not then, not outwardly. Inside, the cold thing in my chest sharpened. I left the building without a word, no arguments, no defense, just quiet steps down the hall, past the executives pretending not to stare. I walked out Friday. By Monday morning, 9 clients terminated. 17 days later, 41 walked. Revenue down 61%. They blamed my departure. They blamed mismanagement. They blamed everyone but the real problem. Meanwhile, I investigated quietly. Phone logs, work calendars, late-night GPS pings, screenshots of messages that weren't meant for me. Not explicit, not romantic. Worse, strategic. Meetings between my wife and her sister at odd hours. Financial discussions behind closed doors. Emails about restructuring outcomes. My name appeared too often. I wasn't jealous. Jealousy is emotional. This was forensic. Every detail became a puzzle piece sliding into place. Every long strategy session, every soft argument behind the bedroom door, every look exchanged during the salary ambush. They weren't having an affair. It was something colder, more coordinated. A betrayal of opportunity, not passion. My wife had fed her sister information, access, leverage, and her sister used it to rise, to control, to cut. I watched it unfold with the same detachment a surgeon might feel cutting a tumor from a body, except this tumor wore my wife's perfume. The documents arrived on a rainy Wednesday, unsigned, untraceable, perfectly timed. Internal audits, misallocation of partnership funds, unauthorized bonuses, emails between sisters discussing how to push him out cleanly, a calculated dismantling. They hadn't anticipated I'd leave before they were ready. They hadn't anticipated clients following me. They hadn't anticipated the competitor welcoming me with open arms. I didn't confront my wife with yelling or drama. I simply placed the printed emails on the kitchen island as she walked in. She froze. "What? What is this?" I didn't answer. Didn't need to. Her face drained of color as she read. Line after line. The truth unspooling like a noose tightening around her throat. She whispered, "Who gave you this?" As if that mattered. I watched her come apart in silence. Calm, detached, observing how betrayal collapses when exposed to daylight. The next morning, I sent the same packet to the board. No commentary, no accusation, just facts. By noon, the building buzzed with panic. Executives calling, directors scrambling, lawyers circling like vultures. They summoned her to a special session. She walked in tall, left broken. Her sister, CEO for only 4 months, was suspended pending investigation. My wife was removed from strategic oversight entirely. Conflict of interest, undisclosed collaboration, ethics violation. I didn't attend the meeting. I didn't need to. My revenge wasn't the downfall. It was the silence I maintained throughout, the calm that unnerved them. That moment when my wife finally approached me, trembling, asking, "Did you plan this?" I met her eyes. Steady, empty of anything she once recognized. "No," I said. I simply stopped protecting what was never protecting me. She broke, quietly, fully, and I walked past her without looking back. I didn't celebrate, didn't smile. I just breathed differently, lighter, sharper, unbound. They had built their rise on secrets, on my trust, on the assumption that I wouldn't look too closely. They were wrong. I didn't destroy them. I simply revealed what they buried. Truth does the rest. The competitor's office window overlooked my old firm. On my first Monday there, I watched their building flicker, lights going on and off as the board tried to salvage what remained. I felt nothing. No pity, no nostalgia, just clarity. Betrayal doesn't end with anger. It ends with understanding. And understanding is colder than revenge. I turned away from the window and didn't look back again.